Okay.
Tim, we were standing in line and you were telling me a story about buying some toys and bringing some toys with you, and I'd like you to tell me that story right now.
Sure, that was Everett had asked me, Dr. Holly, several days before the trip was to leave, if I could pick up some children toys because I had some extra money left over. I said absolutely. So I figured to get the most out of the money, I went to my local Dollar General store and brought my little daughter, 7 years old, and she was picking out things, and I kept telling her, no, I want you to pick out something that's like 5 for $1 or 6 for $1. She'd pick out a doll that was like 5 pounds in weight, and I said, no, that's not going to work. So anyway, I pretty much wiped out their shelves of all these different items, of all these toys for the children. And I had a basket that was overflowing, which you hardly ever see in that store. So I was walking down one aisle, and I see this woman coming by, and she stopped and asked me, what are you doing with all those toys? And I said, well, tomorrow I'm leaving for Africa. We're going to Ethiopia on a mission trip, and we're going to be handing out toys to the children. And I could see immediately her face light up and that she was touched by that. And so she went one way, I went the other, but we ran into each other in the next aisle. She stopped me again and she said, with tears in her eye, would you be offended if I gave you $20? And I was kind of like, well, no, not at all. She's like, thank you for what you're doing. And I thought, wow, that is amazing. And then I get online, and since we had so much stuff in the basket, they had to call a second teller up so people with 1 or 2 items could go through. And while I'm waiting for them to scan things, another gentleman comes up and asks me the same question. What do you do with all these toys? When I told him, he was touched, and he opened his wallet and handed me $10. I said, wow, God is great. And it gets better because that guy went on the other line where his daughter or his brother was a dentist, and he was telling him, and I could see him looking over here and smiling and saying, isn't that cool? And when I went to pay almost $200 for all the stuff, which is a lot of toys, that same man came over to me and gave me $40 more. So I got a total of $70 from 2 strangers. And I didn't even advertise or say anything. They came up to me once they heard what we were doing, gave generously. I mean, almost paid for half of what we were buying, and I was just so touched. And I just knew that God was, anointing us for this trip. And now I have such excitement when I give out the toys, not just because I purchased them and brought them here, but just to know that there are people in my country who gave freely on the spur of the moment to send their love to their people. That's great. Yeah.